why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I never want to hear you say I have a boyfriend.
Free Christine Weston Chandler 2022. She needs to be free.
Yes, our new campaign. Actually, I think some people think she is free right now.
Oh,
have you seen those?
Yes,
Have you seen those videos?
I do hope that she actually did escape out of the bathroom window.
That's what people are saying, that she went to the bathroom during a trial or during a hearing, and she went out the bathroom window and escaped on roller skates.
I wish that happened. That would have been so epic.
I saw a video. I don't know if someone dressed up like Christian and like.
Are you talking about the one where it's like the security footage?
Yeah, someone's like on roller skates and there's like police cars driving after her.
I haven't seen that one.
I don't. Either that's an amazing deep fake or something, or it's real. Honestly.
I saw like a fake pictures like Christine Weston Chandler escaped with Mexican drug lord, and it's like a fucking picture of it. It's like two mugshots of him, but I think it was fake. I wish it was real.
Do you think there are anybody that do you think there are anybody that are like that would be willing to like harbor Christian as a fugitive?
Like an Underground Railroad type situation.
Yeah, like the Christian Railroad.
I don't know. That'd be hard. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like people would like pretend to harbor them and then just call the police on Christian.
Christian, come in. Okay.
Yeah, we got you.
Don't open the windows.
Yeah.
I have some snacks in the back. Just don't make a sound. And then they just immediately call the police.
Yeah, exactly. They would troll him. That would be like the ultimate troll.
The ultimate troll. Yeah, I gave you up. You thought I was harboring you? No, I got him.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? You saw that video of Christian that I sent you where she's like, "You freaking Nazis, I'm going to knock all of you out of Equestria."
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite new videos of her.
Well, because is Christine considered today? Because it's Christine with the body of I don't know. Christian might be, if I remember the lore correctly, Christian might be possessed by the spirit of Sonic the Rosechew, I think. Oh, my bad.
No,
Sonic
the Rosechew?
No, like Sonic LaRose, something like that. But if you watch any of like the older or like the newer videos on the YouTube channel, they say like, this is Christine West Chandler, the body of LaRosechew. Some like fucking crazy ass shit with it. And do you remember the interdimensional merge?
Yeah, no, I remember her predicting the merge.
It was supposed to happen and then never happened.
Anytime. Oh, no, the thing is, I think I'm kind of behind on the lore. I haven't watched the documentary in a long time. All I know is that like at one point she was married to some of her characters. Like she went through it, got a legal certificate for marriage.
I didn't know there's a legal certificate.
I again, she's the person I'm hearing this from, so it may not be completely true. Before we continue, hey guys, welcome back to Chillcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm here with my friend Sam. You guys might know him from the cooking video.
That was a pretty epic video.
Where he made the ultimate soup, my grandfather's recipe. It was absolutely rancid, but somehow 2 people ate it and actually thought it was decent, which I guess proves that.
Actually, so Will was lying. He didn't like it. He just didn't want to be rude.
He didn't want to be rude?
He didn't want to be rude. Oh. he got mad at me after.
He got mad at you?
Well, not mad at me, but he was just like, he seemed like disappointed.
Yeah, it was not a good soup.
It was not good.
I was about to say, like, you know, if they actually liked it, then I guess that's a good sign for Old Bay. Like their marketing is probably working.
I forgot we dumped a whole fucking tin of Old Bay.
Yeah, that was good stuff. No, it wasn't, but it was good. It was fun to watch people partake in the soup.
Yeah, actually, he brought up to me when I passed by you with Taylor, the other guy that ate it. He's like, "That's the guy that made me eat the fucking gross soup." I was like, "Yep."
That's me.
Yep, you're the soup guy.
Yeah. Honestly, that could be my new gamer tag. I'm
the
like
soup
guy.
The soup guy.
No, that if I was in the Christian documentary, that would be my name.
You'd be the soup guy.
You know how there's like Blue Spike and other like troll names, like
Liquid Chris,
the
man in the pickle suit.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely be the soup guy. That'd be
the soup guy.
Be a cool like lore name.
Yeah.
Geno Samuel, if you're listening, I'd love to be in the documentary somehow.
As the soup guy.
If you could just make up a whole segment of his life and put me into it.
Dude, you just gotta troll. You gotta harbor Christine, bro, and you'll be known as the soup guy.
That would be very amazing. That would be amazing. That would be a great experience. Honestly, I would just drop out of college if I would get the chance to harbor Christian.
You gotta get Christian to like sleep under your bed here.
Under my bed.
You can just like clear it out and just have Christine just like sleep under your bed. And use your credit card to buy Lego sets.
Yeah.
And just make them watch like My Little Pony for the rest of their life until they become a rotting corpse.
No, honestly, if there was no if she had not done what she did and she was still living at home with Barb, I think at this point she would probably be just like in complete debt, like out of money.
She already is in complete debt. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
For like ever, they're supposed to take the house. I thought.
I'm about to say like I'm sure if she had any credit cards, they're like on their limit. Like I don't think any bank would ever lend Christian credit ever. Because
all Christine gets is like the monthly not pension, it's disability checks. I'm pretty sure that was really it.
And like, I'm sure that she uses all of it.
Oh yeah, she spends all of it. I know one of the older Christian stories is Chris. I think Bob took away the credit card. So Chris went and opened up a new one.
Oh my god!
Maxed it out.
No.
And then Bob just footed the bill.
Oh my god!
So,
like, on the subject of Christian, it's so obvious that there was a horrible cycle of abuse on both ends.
Oh yeah.
Like it started from, Christian being born and being raised in a hoarder house.
Yeah.
And not being properly cared for, and then on the other end, when his parents got older, him not being able to take care of them properly.
Yeah.
Like I've seen videos of Barb. Like she's not there.
Oh yeah, she's
gone.
rough. She's rough.
She's gone, and she.
I'm pretty sure Bob and Barb were both like terrible people in it too.
Yeah, even personal character aside, they were just not good parents.
Yeah.
Like it's just a sad situation. Like I had to stop watching. I was watching the documentary a good while ago, and I was like watching through the whole playlist. And I got to like episode 14. I just had to stop because I was getting so depressed. Like,
yeah,
because like all the like funny moments aside, like this is like his or her story is really just kind of tragic.
Yeah,
even though in the early years she did do some questionable, and now she's done even worse things.
Yeah.
With the whole criminal situation.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's such a weird, like, historical period to study, Yeah. It's like it's so well established on the internet. Like her entire life is established.
Yeah. They're probably the most documented person in the world.
Yeah.
But do you think people? So I like watching people argue on Twitter, and do you think? It seems like there's a resurgence of people against the people that document Christian.
I think, in a weird way, it's important that, like...
I feel like there should be some documentation just because there's been so much stuff that has happened. But I feel like... both sides... I feel like both sides are in the wrong. Or not in the wrong, but no one's winning. No, there's no winner in this situation.
There's no real solution. Like... the questions people are asking whether or not it was right to begin with to, kind of document her life and like kind of write her life essentially like you're writing a book, which is what the trolls were doing. They are doing. They've controlled her trajectory in a lot of ways. But, going back to that question, whether or not people should document and troll and all this and all that, it's irrelevant now because it's happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, we can't really undo what's been done.
Yeah.
And even if her life wasn't documented, she would have had a very similar life because of how bad her home situation was.
I feel like earlier it would have been mostly the same, but I feel like like the whole interdimensional merge thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I think if her access to the internet had been restricted, she would have lived. I think she would have had a slightly better situation going on for her right now.
Well, what was the first website that was open for documenting Christian? Was it?
It's like Wikipedia or something?
No, there's something before the Quickie. There's a website that I forgot. I forgot. Was it? I don't even remember it. Then, damn. Oh my God, I'm trying. I totally forget. I'll have to try to remember it. But there was a website before the Wikipedia about documenting Christian before they branched off and created the Wikipedia. I'm trying to remember, but I feel like a lot of the trolling was just like, I feel like came as a result of like these websites documenting, because they want to be like the next person to troll Christian.
They wanted a place in history, so to speak. You know,
they wanted their like 5 seconds of fame.
Exactly. I absolutely despise Blue Spike.
Yeah.
Because of what they going into it, they weren't just trying to like, mess with them and say, oh, I'm going to help you make a game with Nintendo, which was I thought that was kind of funny. Like people, like if someone pretending to be Nintendo of America was emailing Christian over and over saying, okay, we're almost done with the game. We're working on the models and everything. We're still trying to hire someone for the soundtrack and all. I thought that was kind of funny because it's like, in a way it's kind of a harmless prank.
Or there's someone in like the UK selling fake Sonic 2 merch.
Yeah. But it's like, I like the harmless stuff. But what Blue Spike did is just so... Yeah. I'm not going to go into it just because it's just vile. Yeah. But if you really want to know and you have that morbid curiosity like most of us do, just watch the Christian documentary by Gino Samuel.
Look it up on the Wikipedia.
Yeah. But that's enough about Christian. I just thought that we should...
well, actually, you know what we should do? We should read what's... I know in the Wikipedia they have, like, today in Christian history.
Today in Christian history.
Or, like, something that has happened today.
Forget George Washington. Let's learn about Christian.
Oh, wait, what? Did the Wikipedia go down? Hold on. Is it just sonicchew.com? Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Sorry if I'm... Oh, this is it. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Did the official Wikipedia go down? No way. I don't know if I'm stupid or not. Wait. Is this sonicchew.com now? I don't know. It's... Because usually if you look up Wikipedia, it would pop up. Wait, no way they took it down. I don't know. Well, okay, well, this was a terrible attempt at a bit. Okay, well, I wonder what happened on today in Christory.
Honestly, he was probably writing at this day in history, he was probably writing a homework assignment partly in Spanish and partly in English.
Probably. Which
is the funniest thing to me.
Dude, but
in his other classes,
student, he said that he was a straight A student. He's an honor student.
Yeah, and I just like how in other classes, other than his Spanish class, he would like in his English papers.
Yeah, you'd use Spanish.
You'd use part Spanish,
but you'd use his Spanish name. Was it Ricardo?
Yeah, Ricardo. Whenever people say the name Ricardo, I think of Ricardo Montalban. You ever heard of him?
I don't think so.
You ever heard of Fantasy Island?
Maybe.
You ever seen any of the 70s Planet of the Apes movies?
No.
Have you ever seen Spy Kids 3D?
Yes.
Remember the guy in the wheelchair?
Yeah.
That's Ricardo Montalban. Isn't that funny? The range of movies and stuff he's been in? No, he's the guy who's like, Judy, I think we should make amends or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then he walks at the end.
To the robot, the giant robot.
Yeah, he turns into a robot, and then at the end, he's still in the wheelchair. They don't give him legs.
Yeah.
That movie, that Spy Kids 3D, bro, when that girl dies, but she's actually a computer. Dude, she was so hot.
Well, I always, when Spy Kids would come on after school, I had fond memories of watching it with my siblings, But I would always get really uncomfortable towards the middle when they would have that execution scene with like the live firing squad.
Wait, what?
Like, you know the little the finger guys from like the second Spy Kids?
Yeah.
They walk up to like one of these like, you know, robotic soldiers, and they're like, they actually have lines and like, we're gonna kill you for crimes against the state, and they blindfold this robot and shoot him in front of Judy and the others.
Is this Spy Kids 3D?
Yeah. The thumb characters, they're wearing bandanas and they're live firing squad.
Oh my god! I'm just thinking of like an ISIS execution, but it's the thumbs from Spy Kids. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, they're like, you're in trouble for committing crimes against the state, and they fire off into the robot.
What? I feel like I remember this Spy.
Just look up Spy Kids execution scene.
3D execution. I don't remember this. Game over death scene? Which robot?
No, specifically the execution squad scene.
I looked up execution squad. I didn't know the thumbs were in the third movie.
Yeah, they brought him back. They had a contract.
It's not. I can't find it.
That's because it doesn't exist.
You're lying, you fucker. You fucker.
I think I remember this.
I was just saying, I don't remember the thumbs being in it. I don't remember a fucking firing squad. Oh my god. You just gaslit me into thinking of a fucking Spy Kids 3D, a fucking firing squad scene.
I don't know. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to create fake scenes in movies that are maybe believable. The best example of me doing this is I was at my grandparents' house and I said, man, I loved A Christmas Story, but I literally used the exact same joke. I said, I hated the execution scene halfway through. And my grandmother was like, did they really do that? Was it like a dream sequence or something? And my grandmother was like, I just don't remember that. That's crazy. And I was like, wait, that was way too easy. I don't know if I should have done that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, that scene did not exist. I would find it interesting. Like, you know, I'm trying to think of how they would fit that in with the plot. But
yeah.
Like, that'd be kind of funny if they're just like, skipping about the digital world.
Yeah, the game verse.
The game verse, the multiverse. Or the Warner verse, the Warner Brothers verse.
Oh yeah.
And they just happen upon the Thumb Squad.
The Thumb Firing Squad?
Yeah.
That brutally shoots them, that brutally cuts their head off.
Yeah, but it's a robot, so that way it can still be PG.
Yeah.
But it's like gory. It's kind of like that scene in Rick and Morty where it's like, Morty, shoot them. They're just robots. Don't worry. Shoot them. They're just robots. Yeah. And he shoots them. It's like, oh, someone tell his wife and kids. You know, Rick and Morty is kind of the face of cringe right now. But there are some like sweet episodes, like some good hot, like they check off all the right boxes. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially in the early seasons.
Yeah, I like early Rick and Morty is good. Some of the newer episodes are not that bad. It's just I feel like they try to be too like self-aware sometimes, and
to the point where it's just not even fun anymore.
Yeah, it's just like it's like Deadpool-esque. Like look to camera.
Yeah. Say,
well, that was crazy, or in this episode we're fucking doing some bullshit.
No, I like one of my consistently like I do like the Me6 episode. Where like they're trying to help Jerry with his golf swing.
Yeah.
That like the delivery of like the the lines and everything and the timing, it was all like perfect in that episode. But like later on, it just gets to the point where there's just so much.
Yeah.
Like I think it's because they recognize, like, because Rick and Morty, at least from my perspective, started out as almost, even though it was picked up by Adult Swim, it felt kind of like an indie show at first because of who was writing it. Even though they're pretty well established, it kind of felt like an indie show because the only people I heard like talking about it or like raving about it or promoting it were like YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like Jacksepticeye, he was like, oh my gosh, Justin Roiland's hilarious. This new show, Rick and Morty. And I remember going, oh man, I want to watch this show. And watching it and like, laughing my ass off. Like, but from my perspective, it seemed like it was, small and it grew.
Yeah.
Even though it was picked up by a major network.
But I feel
but now it's just like, it's almost like the show's become its own worst enemy.
Yeah. It felt like Smiling Friends when it first came out. And I feel like Smiling Friends, like, right now is probably one of the best TV shows currently.
Honestly, like, I rewatched it yesterday, like a couple episodes of Smiling Friends yesterday, and it just, like, they still make me laugh. Like, even though I know what jokes are going to be said, I know the entire episode, just reliving it, it's just so funny.
And I feel like there's, like, some beats that they try to do in Rick and Morty that, like, I feel like we're better in, like, Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like Smiling Friends is also better because it's shorter.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast with Zach Cadle, and he was talking about how him and I can't remember the other co-creator's name. Is it Michael Cusack?
I don't remember.
Because he voices Pim.
Yeah.
I heard Zach talking about how when they were debating over how long an episode should be, they're like, how long would I want a show to be? If I wanted to, like, show my friends, but I want them to commit to something that's too long, like, want to check this out. And they decided upon like a 10-minute, 11-minute length because they thought that was perfect. Yeah. And I kind of agree. Like, for what they were doing, it really works. Like, I didn't feel like I was showing somebody an entire show when I was like, hey, you guys want to watch an episode of Smiling Friends? I felt like I was showing them a video on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, at this point, that's kind of what most shows are.
Yeah.
Technically.
But the thing is, Smiling Friends is made, like, I'm pretty sure everyone that works on it is from the internet.
Exactly. That's why it was so good. Like, Adult Swim realized they had picked up a gold mine here because they realized that all they need to do is get talented people from the internet to make content for them because it's already successful on the internet, and them bringing it to TV was like the perfect solution. Other people, like, Disney tried to do that with their like Let's Play series on Disney XD, which was them taking already recorded Let's Plays and then editing the heck out of it, which was like disgusting. Like, it was like I don't know.
I didn't know I knew they streamed, or they had Overwatch games, like competitive Overwatch on Disney XD. I didn't know they had Let's Plays.
They like played pre-recorded episodes of Jacksepticeye playing Happy Wheels.
No.
But instead of just letting it be the episode, they like added a bunch of like wacky sound effects and cut it up into like a 5-minute episode, and it was just nauseating. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is not funny. This is not funny. Yeah. Stop it.
It's just for babies, just fast, loud sound effects.
And they had to censor all the swears, so it sounded like half the time like he was not even finishing a sentence. It was like, I'm like, okay. But like, back to Adult Swim, like, I think part of the reason why Smiling Friends is and was so successful is because they just let the people do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
They gave them the funding and they made the show how they wanted to make it. The only restraints were like, they had to cut some things for time.
Yeah.
Because they were allotted a certain slot.
In your opinion, what's your favorite Smiling Friends episode?
I guess that has to go back to the one I watched the most. Probably the shrimp episode.
The shrimp one's good.
Where is my shrimpina?
Mine would either be the Halloween episode with
the tree demon.
Just because the ending was like, dude, are you on blackface, bro? And they fucking beat the shit.
No, I'm literally a demon.
Yeah. Or the Frowning Friends. Really,
I watched Frowning Friends yesterday.
Just because the Renaissance men are coming.
Hey, I heard the Renaissance men are coming to town. I don't know what that means. Dude, all I'm telling you is that what I know, like on the phone, on the website, it just says that the Renaissance men are coming to town.
And then it's literally not explained to like the last like 5 seconds where the Renaissance men come in and fucking shoot this Frowning Friends.
And when they show up, Charlie's like, "Oh, I guess that's those are the Renaissance men." And Pim's like, "Oh, I don't know what that means." And well, what's funny is like he's like, they're not even like dressed in the right era. That's not Renaissance. That's like medieval. It's like they might not even be the Renaissance men. I just, oh my gosh, just like they have a good mixture of like improv, like jokes that seem like improv.
Yeah.
And then jokes that are just like planned out, but not to a point where it's like annoying.
Another really good one is the Christmas episode where Charlie dies.
Yeah, Charlie just dies and doesn't come back. And another thing about that show that makes it so unique is a lot of the dialogue is just seems very personable and real.
Yeah.
You know, it shows like the negative parts of people's relationships, like, you know, kind of like toxic friendships. Like, like, you know, Charlie being kind of a laid back, kind of pessimistic dude, and Pim being like super optimistic all the time. Like those personalities don't really meld well. And the whole time, you know, throughout the series, they get into arguments because they're not really, you know, they're not in sync most of the time. And that's why the Christmas episode is so good, because it shows like real friends arguing.
Yeah.
And the arguments are very real. There's not really a fictional element about it.
Yeah. No, that's a good episode. I'm trying to think of the Brazil episode was funny because it's that they technically go to Brazil and it's just them arguing for 10 minutes.
You tourist, you got cash. You tourist, you love Brazil. Me and my friends say that all the time. Like we walk up to each other randomly. You got cash. You tourist.
It's other really good ones. The Magical Forest one's good.
Oh.
The witch quest. Just never take the witch quest.
Let's get some witch gems.
And the way he at the end where, oh my god, is it Plim? What's the little like hobbit guy?
Mip. It's just Pim backwards because it's the whole point. He's supposed to be a copy of Pim.
Mip gets pushed into the fucking, and then he like turns into like a weird like fucking creature. And they're like, whoa, hold on, I did not see that coming. And then the whole time he was just like a weird stalker.
He was just a weird stalker / terrorist. He was like, trying to blow up the queen, the princess.
And then the funny part about that episode is just there's no real ending. It's just like they technically they make her happy, but like
it wasn't intentional. They didn't actually do much. It was like a
the
quest.
whole like if they make her smile, then do they even like make up? Do they even like apologize to each other?
No, they don't.
I think he might have said something, but like
maybe
it kind of just ends.
Yeah, it's just like
there's no real resolution to like a lot of the episodes. They kind of just end.
I like 3D Squeldon. 3D Squeldon loves balloons. They actually hired somebody off like Twitter,
really,
to make that 3D model.
3D Squeldon.
3D Squeldon. Oh my gosh, the way they made him simultaneously disgusting but adorable to look at.
I'm trying to. I remember the 3D Squeldon, but what's the plot to the 3D Squeldon episode?
It's the Frowning Friends episode.
Oh yeah,
they're walking around. It's like, you know, the same one with DJ Spit. Yo, you get out of my head, man! Get out of my head.
Oh yeah, I remember 3D Squeldon. Yeah.
3D Squeldon loves balloons. Oh, I like at the end when like the frowning friends are doing like their big speech, like we're gonna make everybody frown and sad because we're all gonna die and like everything. Everybody's like, yeah, and then he's like, and we're gonna kill all the Puerto Ricans, and then everyone's like, what did he say? And he's like, and we're also gonna make everybody hate life, and everyone's like, yeah, and then after everything's resolved and they get like shot by the Renaissance men.
Yeah.
The one guy voiced by Lyle Rath. The like you know.
Yeah, I know.
The I think his name is just like Mr. Sir or something like that.
The boss, right?
No, not Mr. Boss, but the guy that Lyle voices. He's like, dang it, I wanted to kill Puerto Ricans, and then just walks away. That's another element about the show that I like. The fact that a lot of the voice actors are people I already know.
Yeah. Because I know Tomar is the voice of
Grandpa Gleb.
Yeah, and Grandpa Gleb. And then
the Centaur.
Yeah. Who else? Is there any like
Chris O'Neill voiced a guy in line to be Mr. Frog.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I missed my daughter's wedding for this. And Mr. Boss is voiced by the guy who does Sick Animations. You ever heard of Sick Animations?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, he's like he makes cartoons on YouTube.
I'll have to look him up. Because I know, and then Chills is in the first episode, which is just...
Number 15.
I'll have a number 15. A number 15.
Did you know that Christian was almost in Smiling Friends?
Really? No way.
He was going to voice the grease puddle. But do you know why he wasn't in it?
Why?
It wasn't even because of the whole situation with him and her and Barb.
Yeah.
It was because that was just like a immediate side effect of like it just happened right after they concluded their like conversations with them. They were like they realized that they couldn't attain audio from Christian without their consent. Like they were going to ask Christian to record some stuff, but they didn't. I think in order to make it work, they couldn't really tell Christian what it was for.
Oh, okay.
And that was illegal, and they couldn't do that, so they kind of like just abandoned, like scrapped it.
Got it.
And then afterwards, the news came out that Christian did what he did to Barb, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we just dodged a bullet."
That would be still pretty legendary if Christian.
I think that would add a whole nother layer.
I think
to the show.
when the funniest is it was some like political rally, then all of a sudden Christian's just there. And they're in the video. Like there's just like someone like going up interviewing people, and like Christian's just like sitting on a blanket, and they go like interview Christian. I forgot what she says. She says something interesting, but there's a lot of interesting Christian sightings. Christine sightings.
You seen the one where she was at like a convention in the room with like there's like a panel of like Sonic voice actors.
Is it the one where they go into the fetal position?
No, she asks a question. She asks Dr. Eggman, the voice actor of Dr. Eggman, to role play.
No way.
And she's like, it doesn't even make sense what she's saying. She like lumps her sentences together, and she's like, "Hey, could you respond to if Sonic said I'm gay?" Or something like that. Or something like, what if Sonic changed his name to I'm gay? And then like she literally said it like that, like I'm gay, like that, and then like the voice actor was like, I quote great Shakespeare when I say what is in a name, or something like that. Like he says like something like that. Like, and everyone's like clapping because he like dodged like a weird situation.
Yeah.
And then Christian like thinks that she just did something great, so she's like absorbing the applause. She's like, yeah. It's so awkward. She's like cheering for herself.
I know there is a classic Christian video where it's like it was some trolls that like made Christian say like come out as gay, and I remember it's in the documentary, but like he talks about like all the symbolism that's in the video with like him having Optimus Prime out and having the medallion away or something. But he's like he says it just like that, like I'm gay, I'm gay, yeah, because he doesn't.
He's so scared to say it.
Yeah, even though
I'm straight.
He's straight and straight only.
Like the Super Mega video. What was it? Or did they referenced that recently, like a male video or something, where Matt's like, "I'm straight." No, it was in the Noob Dude video, I think.
I think so.
Maybe he's like, "I'm straight."
Straight and straight only. I'll quote that, and like no one will get it. I'll be like, "I'm straight and straight only." I love Christian quotes.
In your future place of employment, you should put up Christian posters.
Yeah.
See how long that...
Looking for a boyfriend-free girl?
Boyfriend-free girl? I use that all the time. I'm not even kidding.
Was it 18 to 24? 18 to 21.
We should... You know what we should do? We should go to a mall and hold up a sign saying, looking for a boyfriend-free girl.
I would rather kill myself than do that.
Oh my God.
Or we do the Kokoro heart, like what Christian would do, like... What he'd like pretend to like drop like a piece of paper and like hope the girl would pick it up.
Oh my gosh, dude! It reminds me of you ever heard of Nathan For You?
Yes, dude, I love Nathan For You.
Using that the poop flavored frozen yogurt. episode?
I don't think so.
Well, he's trying to get people to go to this yogurt shop, and he can't figure out how to do. He doesn't want to do it like on the internet because that'd be like too obvious, like a promotion. He wants to be like make it like natural or something.
Yeah.
So he's standing on the street and he's like on the phone, pretending to talk to his mom, and he like keeps dropping money in front of people so they'll pick it up and hand it to him, and he'll be like, "Oh man, thank you. I was just so distracted because I was on the phone talking to my mom about this poop flavored frozen yogurt. You should check out the store. It's right there." And like that, he kept doing that. There's like footage, a lot of footage of people just walking right past him, not even helping him, which I guess is a testament to the people that live near wherever he was doing that.
Dude, have you seen The Rehearsal?
Not yet.
I haven't finished it, but The Rehearsal. Like, all I'm saying is it starts off as like a comedy and then like it turns into like a psychological thriller.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it similar to the Nathan For You show?
So the plot is The Rehearsal. So the concept of The Rehearsal is that you can have a situation go out exactly as planned if you rehearse it as many times as possible. So for the first episode, the plot is he finds this guy that he wants to tell like a secret to like his friends.
Yeah.
And so they rehearse it. They rehearse the situation of him like telling this girl, this like lady, that he doesn't have his master's degree. Like that's it. And he creates this whole, well, I don't want to spoil it, but that's like the gist of it. And then they do the situation over and over. Like he hires actors and everything to like pretend to be the people. And yeah, but it's hard to explain without giving a lot away, but you should watch it.
I just recently got an HBO account with some friends, so I will check it out. I'm so excited. Good. I was rewatching Nathan For You, which is why I brought it up. Because I actually haven't seen all the episodes. I've only seen a couple.
I've seen a majority. There's a couple I don't think I've seen.
You've seen the Santa one, right?
Yes.
My favorite part of that episode is when it's like doing a montage of like, trying to like, and Nathan's doing like narration. He's like, oh yeah, he's such a great guy and he just wants to make a living. And then it shows like footage of him being like just like a nice Santa or whatever, and then it cuts to him like in his closet brandishing all these weapons, like he's like a sniper rifle. Yeah, this is a Smith and Wesson. This is
this big ass revolver.
Yeah, and just like how they reuse a lot of the footage. Yeah. And, oh my gosh, the editing in that show.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. I think one of the best episodes would probably be the private investigator one. Do you remember that?
I've seen the one with the guy. And I've seen one where he hires a private investigator for this guy going to the gym.
There's one where it's a private investigator, and his whole plan is that he wants to get him a Yelp review. That's the whole thing. But it's so funny because he's testing like his private investigation skills, and the best part is to start. He hires a bunch of people that look like him, except like half of them like don't make any sense, and they all scatter out of this one hotel building to fool him, quote unquote. And oh my god, the episode's so funny because the guy is just like the private investigator is just railing on Nathan like the entire time. He's like, you look like a goofball. And then there's a second episode where it's like Nathan trying to make himself like look cooler. So he hires a bunch of people to, I guess, like watch him, and they're all in like this like U-Haul van, like just like telling like what he should do better.
Okay.
And it's chaos. And then he goes, and at the end he goes try to like impress the private investigator again, and he doesn't care. He's like, what is this? You look like a goofball.
You seen the episode where he is trying to prove that confidence is all that matters in a job interview. So he goes into the interview with an earpiece, and he has a 7-year-old feed him information on what to say in response to the questions.
I haven't seen that one.
The interviewer is like, so why do you think you'd want to work at this law firm? And the kid goes, what that mean? and Nathan's like, what that mean? And she's like, why do you see yourself, working here? Like, do you think you have the skills? And he's like, can we do a different question? Can we do a different question? And then like at the end he's like, so I just, he explains the situation to the interviewer, and he's like, so do you think, just based off my confidence, would you give me a job here? And she's like, no. And he's like, but maybe. And she's like, no. And he's like, but maybe. And she's like, maybe, but no. And then the next one, he gets I loved it. He got the guy from Bob's Burgers. I think they're friends. The guy who voices Bob from Bob's Burgers, and he like feeds him information, and his job is to make him say the worst stuff to this guy he's being interviewed by. And so he walks in, and the guy's like, "Oh, welcome to the something law firm. Grab a seat." And Nathan sits down, and he's like, "What's up?" And so tell me about yourself. And he's like, "How about you tell me about yourself? Has your mom passed away?" And he's like, no, she's still alive. And then he's like, well, that's a shame. And then Nathan's like, well, that's a shame. And, and then at one point it's like, so tell me about your skills. And then the guy, I'll just call him Bob. I don't know his name, but Bob was like, yeah, I like to molest children. And then Nathan's like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And the guy's like, what? He's confused because he's not privy to the fact that he has an earpiece. He's like, what? And he's like, I'm not saying that. And he goes, did you? And then the Bob's like, did you hear me? I like to touch children. I'm a pedophile. And then Nathan's like, no, I'm not saying that. And then the next interview, he has a turtle feed him information. And of course the turtle can't speak. And so he just walks in the interview and doesn't say anything. And it's the most tense thing ever. And the guy's like, so, do you have any previous experience at a real estate firm? And then eventually Nathan keeps making faces and not saying anything. And so the guy just starts talking about himself. It's almost like it almost worked. Like his confidence, so to speak, it almost kind of worked. It was weird. Like he just got him talking about himself. The entire interview. And then Nathan's like, okay, time to break the news. This is who you just hired. And he pulls in a turtle. Even though the guy never said anything about hiring him. Oh my gosh, dude. That guy is a comedic genius.
I think one of the funniest would be, the gas one.
Gas one? What's that?
It's the rebate. The mail-in rebate.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get like $1.65 gas. However, there's only mail-in rebate. And is it in-store rebate?
I think in-store maybe?
Yeah, it's no mail-in rebate. You have to turn into the rebate box. However, the rebate box is 4 hours away on the top of a mountain. And he takes there's 10 people that go, and then he starts naming off these riddles, and all their answers are rock. And so it's these leading all these, and then there's I think 3 people that stay and they camp overnight.
Oh my gosh.
And then they start talking about all this stuff. One guy talks about drinking pee. And then at the end Nathan's like, you know what? I'm going to be real. There's no rebate box.
Oh my
and then everyone's like, you know what? That's fine. We had a good time. We bonded. Uh-huh. And right as everyone's leaving, the camera zooms into the box in the woods. And it's been up there the entire time.
Gosh, dude.
And then at the end, it's Nathan walking in with the rebate box and giving his rebate. And then he ends up talking with because he's telling about experience. He's like, yeah, to the gas station owner. He's like, yeah, when the guy, we camped, and the guy was talking about drinking pee, and the gas station owner is like, yeah, you do that. You drink pee. He's like, pee's good for you. And he talks about drinking the pee of a little boy to give you some energy or something.
The gas station owner?
The gas station owner.
Unironically?
Yeah, unironically.
That is so weird.
It was a strange episode. That episode had so many freaking twists and turns. I'm trying to think of another really good. Have you seen the haunted house one?
No, not yet.
The haunted house one is the thing about the haunted house is they want to make it scary, to get a lot of people to go. So what happens is, what happens is, while 2 people are going, one of the people working at the haunted house accidentally touches someone, And then like they pull him aside, like, hold on, like, we got to get you to the hospital. This person has like some disease. You're like infected. You got to go.
Oh my God.
And so they bring him to this room. They bring like they put these people in an ambulance and they drive them like, and like they're talking about like there's people coming in hazmat suits and like everything.
That would scare the heck out of me.
And then what happens is they get out of the ambulance and it's the exit haunted house sign, and that's part of the haunted house.
What were the people's reactions?
They seemed just like relieved.
Yeah.
Like they honestly didn't seem like that scared. They're just kind of just like what's happening.
Oh my God. Honestly, I would have been like in shock. I think I would have like thrown up out of like shock, because like that is one of my biggest fears, is like just, you know, even going back to like the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's disease is scary. It's very scary. We don't really know enough. Like we do know a lot, obviously a lot more than we used to, considering we're the same race species that thought we had like 4 humors or whatever, and do bloodletting and all that. But like we've only scratched the surface about, you know, the world around us. But like, you know, we've talked a lot about like, you know, Nathan For You, Zach Hadel, like those people that, you know, kind of inspire us, you know, comedically. And to be completely honest, those people are the people that make me want to do YouTube. Yeah. That make me want to create anything. Because they're examples of people that have a funny idea and they're actually given the chance to do it. Yeah. And they make something great.
Well,
you know,
because Nathan was doing comedy even before Nathan For You. He's like, I remember watching like some of his older content, and it was one of them was, he's like, this is me doing like painting on drugs, and it was just like him like giving a blowjob to a bear for like meth and like crack. And then he was like, well, for marijuana, it was the bear was giving me a blowjob because it showed it's a different effect. It's like the humor is just like, I feel like Nathan's humor like changed a lot to more like, I guess, anti-humor. Yeah. Depending on like, I haven't seen that much early like Nathan like comedy, but he's like less of like, he seemed less awkward. Yeah. But
I think like another person I look up to as far as comedy is Eric Andre. Yeah. Like just watching his show makes me want to go out and do not most of the stuff that he does, but some of the stuff.
Just like, going out and just like messing, like just seeing like live human reaction.
Yeah, and every single thing he does, it never harms anyone. It's always embarrassing himself or harming himself. Like when he walks out with like a person on a stretcher, and he's like telling people like, yeah, guys, I just stole this guy's medical records and some of his blood. I'm gonna push him down the stairs in the subway.
And then he's actually like a criminal, and that like swap places with like the ER person, and the person on the stretcher is like the doctor.
You're like, where am I? Where am I? He's like, shut up. Or like even the simple one where he's like on the street with a suitcase and there's like a girl's arm reaching out going, help me. And we're like, you can't do that. People have some really tame reactions to what he does sometimes, which is weird.
Well, it's like, I feel like Nathan and Eric Andre, it's like, there's a lot that's similar, but there's also like, it's hard to like, they're basically like the same thing, like the way they act with like two people, but the way like their demeanor is different. Yeah, like Nathan's a lot more like reserved and like awkward, and I feel like he's more believable as a real person, where Eric is more of like a cartoon character almost.
He goes out of his way to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, but Nathan can just be uncomfortable, just like pretending to be himself.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I like all the interviews where like he'll be sitting there and like roaches will start crawling out of the guest's cup, or they like
or birds are flying like in the ceiling.
Or they have people get too close to the people who are being, like interviewed, like the guy who voiced Fix It Felix.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's like, and then like he'll like, you know, because this guy's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
He's like, he sees Eric eating this like gray mush, and he's like, "Is that food? Is that okay to eat?" And he's like, "Well, you know what they say, if it's gray, it's good for you." And he's like, "I don't think they say that. Are you sure you should be eating that?" Like, you know, even though he's had a horrible experience on this show, he still cares about Eric, which is almost another, you know, funny element to the show.
Yeah.
Or like the Jack Black lie detector.
Yeah.
where he's like telling the truth and they keep shocking him and they're like, "You're lying, you're lying." He's like, "No, I'm telling the truth. I had fish tacos for lunch. Stop shocking me."
I think one of the funniest skits is, oh my god, who's the funny guy that smokes weed? And like that's his character.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. And he's literally there like just to like try to promote a movie. And he's there and he seems like he wants to kill himself. But it ends with him putting on the latex suit to go jump on like a sticky wall. And he jumps on this small ass trampoline, and he just fucking dives straight through this fucking just wall. And he gets all wrapped around, and he's like, "Oh, hold on." And he's like struggling. He's like, "There it is. There's the wall."
I like the ninja rap warrior.
Dude, I was really about to say that. That is probably.
I am here to rap. Ow! Stop! Ow! Like for our audience to give context, Eric Andre set up a bunch of like inflatable pools and put like boards.
It's American Ninja Warrior, but like
with rappers.
1/3. I quote the. "I'm about to bust my ass" so many times. I fucking love that skit.
And they have them like these rappers, you know, these like up and coming rappers walking on these like pieces of plywood, trying to balance with like a wireless microphone. Like they were trying to rap to like the beat that's playing. And then they're like poking him with like tasers and like, you know, like mouse traps and stuff. And like one guy's like, "Okay, screw this," and he just leaves.
Yeah.
And then other two people are like game for it, which is almost even funnier. They're like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna try this, and then they get tased. Oh my gosh, that guy, Eric Andre, what a guy!
You know they're doing another season, I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure they confirmed that season 5. I'm pretty sure this one he's getting super ripped for, because last one he got like bald and fat. Like that was the joke, because he's different every time.
One of my favorite endings to an episode is when it's one of the early episodes. Eric's like, "Next up on the show, a bear." And an actual bear with no leash walks up and starts like eating the chair, and Eric's like, I am no longer comfortable with this bit. And then like the bear just destroys his desk, and he's like, and he runs away. It's like they literally just let loose a bear in a set in like, I don't know where they film it, but you know, Eric Andre, Nathan For You, Zach Hadel, they're like actual kind of, you know, heroes of mine in a way. You know, they're not out like saving cats from trees or anything, but they're doing what they want to do.
Yeah, they're not afraid to just like, as you said, do what they want to do.
And that's another thing. Something I had a middle school friend who said something to me that was kind of profound. Especially for like, you know, a middle school kid to say. He was like I was recording like a gaming video with my friend, and I was getting frustrated because like I didn't get a lot of views on it or something like that. And he was like, "Well, dude, if you're not having fun, then don't do it."
Yeah.
Like record if you're gonna make something, make it because you want to make it.
Yeah.
Don't record it or make it because you want to get attention. Like make it because you enjoy making it.
Yeah. And
that's why I record the podcast, because I enjoy recording podcasts. I enjoy filming sketch videos, like, you know, like in person, like on the street stuff, which I actually have a list of stuff that I do want to film soon.
Okay.
Including a special documentary.
On what?
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
But I think I might have told you about it at one point.
Maybe.
I'll give you a hint without spoiling it to the viewers, but... Okay, never mind.
I mean, you have to tell me after.
I'll have to tell you after. But thank you guys for listening.
Thank you. Remember, follow your dreams. Wash your hands. Wash your ass.
Don't touch no doo-doo feces.
Don't touch no doo-doo feces. There's doo-doo feces.
That allegation is full of hate and ignorance.
Michael Jackson was murdered by his doctor. Michael Jackson may or may not be a pedophile. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.